Hi Stampin' friends, tonight we're going to use the Curved Occasions stamp set. It comes with a punch that has a curve to it, and some of these have a curve already in them, but the others can be curved, and I'll show you kind of an easy way to do that as we go through tonight. I'm going to use just a couple of these, and I'm going to make some fairly simple cards, and I think you'll see that you could definitely spend a whole lot of time and make some really elaborate cards with these if you wanted to. So let's get started. I started out thinking about this cute little cake. I think it is perfect for using with a lot of different color schemes. You could use a light pink, you could use a dark pink, light and dark pink. So I'm just going to go through real quick and just do some coloring. Let's start with coloring my cake. This is, I guess I should tell you, this is the light Flirty Flamingo. Just want it to have plenty of pop. And if you had patience, you could certainly use one of the Bubble Bath pinks, but they are very light, so sometimes I find myself coloring over and over with those. Then I'm going to use the light Lost Lagoon. I'm just going to color my little cake stand here. And I'm going to color my leaves. I'm going to get my dark Daffodil Delight and make both my candles and my flames on this. Then I'm just going to take the Wink of Stella. I'm going to go ahead and use some bright pink, which is our Melon Mambo. I think I grabbed the light Melon Mambo, yes. Just going to kind of put that on there. You can see how quick this was for me. I mean, it was so simple. I'm going to grab some Bubble Bath and some other stuff. And you can see how I've used all these pinks, but it still kind of pops. I like the way that it just still looks kind of energetic and fun. And then I'm going to grab my Melon Mambo ink pad, and I'm going to ink my Happy Birthday. And I have a strip here that I've cut because I think that makes it easier to use this punch. And I'm just going to stamp it here. Now I would finish this out probably with several different little blobs of color. And I would probably go ahead and put some bows on here because, you know, I love a bow. And the way I'm doing this is I just stamped it first and I'm lining it up inside my punch. And then just popping it at the bottom. And I think this makes a nice, simple card that is easy to put together quickly, but still looks super cute when you put all of your little colors and shapes on there. For example, even these fall speckle gems would look really cute on here because it's one of these, it's our, and I should have probably colored with that. It's our little fall batch of in colors that has the Moody Mauve in it. And I think that could be really pretty with it as well. Okay, so that's that one. Next, I'm going to do a quick little example of what is in the catalog. I'm going to use our punch here to try and make a little street. Now, typically I will go ahead and put my put a slider or something at the bottom, or some kind of a little roller. I'll put it at the bottom. But for ease of use, I am going to do it this way. And I'm going to need to, I'm going to need to get it exactly right. So I wanted to show you how I'm going to do this. It's probably not going to be exactly right on our video, but how you would get it to where it was both directions. I would just cut off about 1/2 inch at a time until I get it where it will line up. I only did 1/4 inch there. And so there you can see that I've got it fairly well lined up. I could maybe do a little, let's see, I don't have it where you can see it. I might do just a little bit more. I mean, like really tiny smidge. Okay. And then what I did was get it about the same. Now you can see I have it. It's just almost, okay, I can't show you here, but it's almost perfect at the end of this. It's like a sine, cosine curve. And when you have it the same distance from each side, it will work out perfectly. So then I'm gonna tell you what that is here in just a second. And then we'll go ahead, I'm gonna check where I did this one. It's just about that far from there. And then this one is flipped the other way. Holding it about right there. Whoopsie, if I can hold it still, I can't do it. Okay, and then punch. And then you'll just need to take your scissors, your little, and just kind of get this little tiny bit that it's off right there. Then I'm gonna tell you how wide this is. But this is just kind of for future, whatever. You can see how it would be easy to do this with other things in the future to get them lined up the way that you want them. Okay, let's see. But my point is, you would have to do this, even if you wanted it just to be a tiny little bit. Like if you want to cut off both sides, you would have to start with this side in order to get it nicely lined up so that you get this shape that Stampin' Up! Used in their little catalog. Okay, which you could go ahead after this point and put it on here. Yeah, and I have glitter on my hand, so that's why we've got glitter everywhere. But you could certainly then put your little car on here and make your slider or your spinner or whatever you're trying to do from here. But I would probably kind of shrink it down from this point. So what this is, of course, it's 5 1/4 inches wide, but this is 3 1/4, and that's what made it perfect for sliding in from both directions. So easy peasy on that. What I'm gonna do here is just cut off a little bit from the bottom. Let's see, I'm gonna decide, first I guess you would decide which direction you want your slider to go. I think I'm thinking about this direction across. So I'm gonna take a little bit off the bottom, put that aside. And then I'm gonna either tear or take some off the top. Since I don't have any greenery, I'm just gonna cut this and then I'll probably add a torn layer of green across here. At this point, what you need, your foam strips from the catalog, and you just wanna keep them in line. You can curve them like this around here. That might need to be the top, now that I think about it, because your paper is gonna run in a track, and it's gonna need to be straight. So let me get just a tiny bit more here. That's too much, that's not tiny. Okay, I'll put that right there. I'm just gonna cut this off, and yes, I should be using my sticky scissors for this, not my cutting scissors. Okay, so then that's gonna need to be the bottom. I like to start with my paper the width of what's going under it, because I think that just makes it easier to staple something to the edge, or a clip or glue or whatever, something to the edge. So then I can kind of lay this here and look like right on the 8, that this is just about at the narrowest part, it's going to be about probably just 3/4. So what that means is I could use this color. I could use my afternoon, Azure Afternoon, and then you would not see, it would just look like it's the same both times. Or you could put your white under it, just under there, and then it kind of makes it, to me, it kind of makes it pop more as you make your slider. So let's just go ahead and plan on that. I know that I don't want it any larger than the 3 1/4 that it is. Actually, I think that's going to turn out perfectly because it's going to leave me with plenty over here on the side. So let's try this. I think it's going to need to be, yeah, it's going to need to be a little bit smaller. And I just want this to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to make it just 2 inches wide. There we go. All right. So now I'm ready to just kind of put this together. I'm gonna leave this little slider in here. I'm gonna tear off my tape. Oops, that was the little piece. There we are. And then all I need to do is get this in here fairly nicely. Okay, I do want to cut this slightly on the end. I don't want it to full length of 4 because I don't want it to necessarily show. And I did not close up the end yet because I want to get it just like I want it. Okay. So I may have gotten that one a little too long on this end. No, I guess you can't see it. Okay, so then I've made my, basically the machine. I just need to slide this in now. That like that. And then I'm just gonna put this right on this part. Now, it's going to, if you put a penny, okay, let me try to explain. You could put this on a penny and that would keep it within the track. So you could use ribbon or any number of things to keep this going. But you could also use, now when I say this, you can't use a full-size dimensional because if you do that, your math won't work out. I mean, it's still not gonna quite go up and down like a penny would, but for me, I just think it's not really something I'm gonna be able to mail. So I try not to give myself too much trouble with that kind of thing. So what I'm gonna do here is just put my same size. You can also double it up if it doesn't seem like it's tall enough. I'm just gonna put it across like this. Like that, kind of down on the downside. And I'm gonna slide it back, put my little car right there. And then you can see I can just kind of barely, oops, no, I just can't barely at all. I'm gonna have to take a little bit of it away. That's what I thought I started with it small enough. Kind of funny. Okay, then back this way. There. Okay. Almost, oh, so close. There we go. And it's not quite not quite getting down into the little crevices, but I just think this is easier. Now I did do this with a, for my, what's it called? My little truck, when I was trucking along. I did use it with a straight, and that's so much easier. But this little guy is cute too. And then if it bugs you too much, you can always put your penny inside here. You don't have to redo anything. You can just get rid of this and put your penny here, 2 dimensionals, another penny, and this on top. And it will work just fine. Now, to me, it will kind of spin rather than pull, but that's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. And I just think that is so cute with this little card. Now, you could do a ton of other things. You could mount it on a piece of cardstock or just a little circle and make a little cute card, maybe make him red or pink or something like that. And that's going to be super cute as well. I just like to do these kind of little movement cards whenever I get a chance, but I don't like to necessarily glue them down to this piece of stuff that I have going here. So anyway, just something to consider with that. And now my last card, what I did, I stamped on my silver foil, and you can see some white here. I don't know if you can see that. But what you'll want to do is use a Sharpie or use your basic black blends. Oh, and I think I did this last time. No, it didn't. Okay. The reason I think I don't have my dark basic black is when I did this last time, I pulled it off, it came apart. So sometimes that happens. Mine are very old. This is the only set of black. They've been very useful. And so this is the only set of black blends that I have. So I won't feel bad at all when it's time to get new ones. But what you have to do, I just stamp these and cut these out to make the little disco ball. And so I did 4, but you can see here the one that I've already taken care of the edges versus the ones that I haven't. There's a huge difference in how it looks. So you'll want to just put your blends and get these edges real neat wherever you've had some. You even color maybe the inside here where they're meeting. But do you see what I'm talking about there? And then it's just going to look great. So you might want to lay it down on something and color that way. But anyway, I won't make you watch that entire thing there. But you know what I've done here? This is just a 4.5 wide piece of cardstock that is 11 inches long. I've scored it at 5.5, and I've created a circle here, and I had this stuck on first. What you'll do to do our little, you could do this as a spinner. You could connect it at the bottom as well, but I would kind of rather it just dangle. Now, this would be one that you probably would not be able to then mail because I've got it like this, but you can flatten this down like this. It would go through the mail if you wanted to, but for me, I would just rather do it like this and give it to someone that's local. Okay, so I've got this made into what it is here. I'm gonna put the inside in like this. So when it's open, and you can see it's got it, this could just be all you do. You could just have the disco ball on the inside and call it good. Say that you're finished with the card. Maybe add some Wink of Stella to make it shiny, and then put your sentiment, you know, that kind of thing. But I just thought this kind of added a little extra. So let me go ahead and stick down the inside. I'm just going to center this up and try not to worry too much about whether it's centered on the inside, because I'm not sure it's going to be. And what I mean by that is in here, because it's not actually, you know, it's got 2 stars on this side, 1 star on that side. So, you know, try not to worry about it too much. Then this one, I'm going to just go ahead and put regular adhesive down here, regular adhesive across here, and down the sides, whatever you consider your regular. Okay, so I've got it here, 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 and here. But across the top, I'm going to use at least tear and tape and put it all the way across. And then I've got my little disco ball. You have to try not to stick your hands in your other thing. Okay, then I'm going to dangle it, get it the way I want. So what I'm trying to say is you don't want it to drag on the bottom. So I'm going to try to get it just where I want it, so it swings free, and then stick that down. And then I'm going to go through and put another piece of tear tape across it, just because we want it to be really secure. I'm only putting it part way, so I don't think we need it on the edges. And then I'm going to, while I've got the tear tape, sticky stuff, sticky preventer still on there, I'm going to go ahead and tear off the little end there. Then I'm going to lift this. Okay, so then the most important part of this is to get the circle on there straight, of course. So then just circle straight. Make sure it's hanging free, and it is. And then I can angle the bottom as I'm putting this together and get it where it looks fairly even at the bottom and on the sides. I got this a little bit that direction, so I'm just going to try to pull it just a bit this way. That's stuck down. Didn't mean to have that stuck down. Lift it just a second. Okay. And just give it a little tug this direction. There we are. And then mash it down, and then across the top really well. So there's that. We've got our little, I need to show it to you when I'm lifting it up, I guess, so that you can see better. I've got some kind of weird angle tonight on my camera, but sorry about that. Okay, so now I just need to stamp again. I wanted to show you this, and I forgot to put my sentiments that I was going to use over here. I mean, I forgot to show you them. So now we have that. Now I probably would add some more black. I'd probably punch this in black and add it all around there. Typically though, I mean, you might think you would want black here. My problem with that is just that the black makes another layer for us to have to cut through for our circle. And that's probably too much for me. It's probably just, you know, a little much, but you can add black in other ways. You can add black accessories and things like that. And I think that'll tie it together enough. Okay, so now all I need to do is get my roller skates colored to match. So I'm putting Melon Mambo at the top. I'm gonna make my stop Melon Mambo. Okay, then I'm gonna take the Dark Daffodil Delight. And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and use my Flirty Flamingo. Whoops, not that one. Flirty Flamingo. To color and I'm gonna go ahead and assume these are gray skate wheels. I just wanna put my Flirty Flamingo down here on the bottom. My light smoky slate, and I'm just gonna color all the parts I think would be metal. If you want plastic wheels, you would just go ahead and color those one of the colors, maybe the yellow or one of the pinks. I'm still trying to decide. I think I do probably want maybe the light pink for my wheels. Flirty Flamingo. Because I was talking about that slider and I think I like scared you all. This is really simple. And so I hope that I've shown you how simple this was to put together. And then if you just put your little roller skates on like this, I can't decide if I want to pop them up because I kind of like the idea of the happy dance being what's popped up. I'm just going to use a tiny, tiny bit of adhesive. Try to use as little as possible so that if I change my mind, I can do that later. And then it's just such a simple card, but I think it's a lot of fun. And it really brings out this happy dance for me. How it looks when you've got your piece under here with your white, and you've got it stamped in the Melon Mambo, which is our card base. And then you have the happy dance, the cute little, I think that's the sweetest little roller skates. And I don't know that we've had roller skates in the past. And then the disco ball. I think that's just a lot of fun. So anyway, I appreciate you all watching and I hope you have a great and crafty weekend. Bye-bye.